There's a strange truth about money that most people never learn until it's too late. The moment you start earning more, improving your life, or building real wealth, the world around you starts to change, often in ways you never expected. People treat you differently, not because you changed, but because their perception of you did. Some will admire you, some will envy you, some will try to pull you closer, and others will quietly pull away. This is why one of the smartest financial decisions you will ever make has nothing to do with investing, saving, or budgeting. It has to do with silence. When you get rich, tell no one. This doesn't mean living in fear or hiding your success. It means understanding human nature well enough to protect yourself, your peace, and your long-term financial stability. Wealth is not just about bank accounts. It's about security, mental clarity, and the freedom to live on your own terms. But the more people know about what you have, the more you risk losing exactly those things. Silence is not secrecy. Silence is strategy. The first reason you should tell no one is simple. People change when money enters the room, even people who love you. Most people don't know how to process someone else's success, especially if they feel behind in their own lives. They may smile and congratulate you, but internally, they begin to compare. They measure their progress against yours even if you never ask them to. Suddenly, your life becomes a mirror reflecting what they wish they had. And comparison is the fastest way for admiration to turn into bitterness. This bitterness rarely shows itself openly. It hides behind small comments, subtle jokes, or tiny changes in behavior. You'll start hearing little remarks like, "must be nice," or "you can afford it," or "you've changed." These comments sound harmless, but they chip away at relationships. People begin to expect more from you, judge your choices more harshly, and treat you like a resource instead of a person. Silence removes this pressure. When people don't know how much you have, they treat you the same way they always have. And that consistency is worth protecting. Another reason to stay quiet is that money attracts people you don't actually want in your life. When people think you have money, they suddenly appear with opportunities, business ideas, requests, favors, and expectations. Some will come asking directly, others will come disguised as friendships or collaborations. But at the core, many of these interactions are not about connection. They're about access to your knowledge, your network, your generosity, or your wallet. If you've ever noticed how someone suddenly becomes nicer when they think you're valuable, then you already understand this danger. But when people don't know what you have, you avoid being targeted, pressured, or used. Your relationships stay real. People come for you, not your money. And that's something wealth can never buy. Staying silent also helps you avoid unnecessary expectations. When others know you're doing well, every move you make is judged. If you spend money, people say you're showing off. If you don't, people say you're stingy. If you help someone, they expect more. If you don't help, they say you're selfish. You cannot win when everyone has an opinion about your financial life. The only way to win is to remove the audience entirely. Silence gives you freedom. It allows you to make financial decisions without social pressure. You can save without being questioned. You can invest without people demanding explanations. You can live at your own pace without feeling guilty for moving ahead. Wealth grows faster when no one is watching, because judgment disappears and focus returns. There is also a psychological benefit to keeping your success quiet. The moment you start talking about your money, you begin to seek validation. You start to want people to notice your progress, approve of your decisions, or be impressed by what you've achieved. But needing approval is a trap. It makes you vulnerable to the opinions of others and distracts you from the discipline that built your wealth in the first place. Silence removes this need for validation. When you keep your progress private, you stay grounded, humble, and focused. Wealth becomes something you build for your life, not for attention. Another reason to stay quiet is protection. Not everyone around you has good intentions. Some people feel entitled to what you earn, others may try to manipulate you emotionally. Some may even look for ways to take advantage of you financially. You don't need to broadcast your progress because not everyone deserves to know it. Your financial life belongs to you, not the world. There's a saying, "Move in silence, let your results speak." But here's the twist. Your results don't need to speak to anyone. They only need to work for you. There is no prize for telling the world you're doing well. There is only risk. And the smartest people understand that the more valuable something is, the more quietly it should be protected. You should also tell no one because wealth changes your energy. You start thinking differently, planning differently, and dreaming differently. Not everyone can understand these changes. Some won't relate. Some will misunderstand. And some will feel threatened by your new direction. Sharing your goals or financial decisions with the wrong people invites doubt, criticism, and negativity, all of which can slow you down. When you stay private, you keep control of your mindset, you protect your peace, you avoid unnecessary noise, and most importantly, you stay aligned with your purpose rather than other people's opinions. Another powerful reason to stay silent is to protect your future. Wealth grows best when it grows quietly. Loud money is unstable. It attracts attention, pressure, and desire. Quiet money is calm. It moves slowly, safely, and consistently. Quiet money builds generational wealth. Loud money disappears the moment the pressure increases. One day, when you're older, you will thank yourself for not telling the world how much you had or what you were building. You'll realize that the best financial decisions weren't always about where you invested, but about what you protected, what you kept private, and what you refused to expose. The truth is, wealth is not meant to be announced. It is meant to be lived. It is meant to give you choices, not conversations. It is meant to give you peace, not attention. And it is meant to open your world, not invite the world into yours. Your relationship with money should be like your relationship with your deepest thoughts: personal, evolving, and private. You do not owe anyone an explanation for your progress. You do not owe anyone a breakdown of your success. You do not owe anyone a piece of what you've earned unless you choose to give it. Generosity is beautiful, but it should come from your heart, not from pressure. People often assume that once they become successful, they should announce it, celebrate it loudly, or share it widely. But the truth is, real success doesn't need an audience. It needs purpose. It needs discipline. It needs silence, because silence keeps you safe, stable, and centered. The moment you learn to protect your financial life from unnecessary attention is the moment you start experiencing real freedom. You move smarter, you choose better, you build deeper, you grow faster. Not because you're hiding, but because you're focused. Silence doesn't limit your success. It protects it. It allows you to enjoy the benefits of wealth without carrying the burden of other people's expectations. It gives you space to grow without noise, pressure, or drama. And it keeps the most important parts of your life in your control. So when you get rich, tell no one. Tell no coworkers. Tell no extended family. Tell no strangers. Share only with the people who have earned the right to know. And even then, share carefully. Because the world handles money with emotion, not logic. And the more you expose, the more complicated your life becomes. The greatest sign of wealth is peace. The greatest proof of success is freedom. And the safest path to both is quiet progress. You don't need the world to clap for you. You don't need validation. You don't need congratulations. You don't need to explain anything. There's also something powerful about keeping your financial progress to yourself. It keeps your identity intact. When people know you have money, they start defining you by it. They stop seeing your character, your values, your effort, and instead see the number they imagine you have. But when your money is private, you stay human in their eyes. Your friendships stay authentic. Your family interactions stay normal. You remain the same person you've always been, without being boxed into a role you never asked for. Privacy protects not just your money, but your humanity, because people relate to you for who you are, not what you have. Live simply, move quietly, grow privately, and let your life, not your words, show your success.